Last year, airlines made $2.3 billion from hidden fees targeting travelers over 60. Now, pause, because here's what nobody is prepared for. In 2026, the airline playbook has evolved again. And if you don't understand these new senior-targeted traps, you're about to walk straight into the most expensive year in modern air travel. These next few minutes could literally save you hundreds, maybe thousands. And the worst part? Most travelers won't know they were targeted until after they've already paid. Stay with me to the end, because trick number 1 exposes a 2026 change airlines don't want seniors to hear. Let's jump in. Number 7. The priority boarding trap. In 2026, airlines turned one simple thing into a money-making machine: priority boarding. It looks helpful, it sounds harmless, but once you accept it, you enter a whole new world of extra offers, and most people don't even notice it happening. Here's how it works. Airlines know many travelers, especially older passengers, like to board early so they can take their time and find overhead space. So they make the priority boarding option very visible and very tempting. It's not a scam, it's a real service, but it's also step 1 of a well-designed upsell path.
Once you buy priority boarding, you basically signal, I care about comfort and I'm willing to pay a little extra. And airlines love that signal. From that moment on, the system starts showing you more paid options: seat upgrades, bag add-ons, faster lanes, extra legroom, and sometimes recommended improvements for your flight. None of it is required, but it's offered at the perfect time when you're already stressed or rushed. There's no proof that airlines run secret classifications or force seniors into special categories. That's not real. But what is real is this. In 2026, airlines became much more aggressive about selling anything connected to comfort or speed. Priority boarding became the doorway into that sales funnel. And here's the sneaky part. The offers sound helpful. Better seat for your comfort. Limited space left. Recommended for your flight. Most travelers accept at least one extra without thinking twice. So yes, priority boarding can be useful. But in 2026, it's also the first step into one of the most profitable upsell systems airlines use, and it catches people every single day. Number 6, micro-stress flagging. In 2026, many travelers still believe TSA only checks your bags and your ID. But one of the most common reasons people get stopped has nothing to do with what they're carrying. It happens because officers are trained to notice small changes in how someone moves while approaching the screening area. These tiny movements are often harmless, but they can still trigger extra attention.
TSA's behavior-based observation methods haven't disappeared, even though they've been criticized for years. Officers continue watching for signs of stress, confusion, or hesitation. And in busy airports where travelers are tired, rushing, or trying to keep their balance while holding heavy bags, it's incredibly easy to show those signs without realizing it. Many people get flagged simply because they fumble with their wallet, pause too long before stepping into the scanner, or take an extra moment to understand an instruction. Others get stopped because their hands shake after carrying luggage, or because they appear unsteady after standing in line for a long time. These actions have nothing to do with security threats. They're just normal reactions to travel stress. But they still fall into the category of behaviors officers are told to look at more closely. The good news is that small adjustments can make the process smoother. Slowing down your breathing before reaching the front of the line helps you move more steadily. Resting one hand on your bag while presenting your ID keeps your posture stable. And if you have any medical or physical condition that affects your movement, simply mentioning it to the officer before screening usually prevents misunderstandings. TSA officers deal with thousands of travelers a day, and clear communication helps them understand what's normal for you. Number 5, medication check twist. Imagine rushing through an airport, trying to make your flight, and suddenly being pulled aside, not because of your bags, but because of your medications. In 2026, this is one of the quiet challenges many travelers face. TSA hasn't invented a new trap, but their focus on verifying prescriptions has evolved. Officers are trained to make sure the medications you carry match typical refill patterns, especially when the quantity, packaging, or schedule looks unusual.
This doesn't mean everyone is at risk. Most travelers pass through without a second glance. But even small differences can trigger questions. If your refill dates don't line up exactly, for example, because you took an early refill to cover travel or carry multiple pill organizers, officers may ask you to show proof that the medications belong to you. It's not meant to punish, it's meant to confirm safety and compliance. Still, it can be stressful and time-consuming if you're not prepared. In 2026, the best approach is simple. Stay organized and proactive. Bring printed pharmacy records, keep emails or authorizations for early refills, and take clear photos of each bottle showing the label and quantity. If TSA asks questions, calmly explain your situation and show your documentation. These small steps prevent unnecessary delays and help officers verify your medications quickly. Even though it can feel frustrating, this system is about safety, not creating obstacles. Seniors in particular notice these checks more often, simply because their medications or refill schedules may vary slightly. Handling the situation calmly and prepared is the key to moving through the line smoothly. And coming next is the trick that costs seniors the most money in 2026, and it's completely voluntary, happening right at the gate. Number 4, gate-side bag size confirmation trap. Think you're just being careful when you test your carry-on at the gate? In 2026, that small act can quietly turn into an expensive mistake. Airlines have upgraded their bag sizing systems with digital scanners that automatically record your luggage dimensions and link them to your reservation. Even if no gate agent is watching, the scanner captures your bag's measurements. If it exceeds the airline's limit, even by a tiny amount, it can trigger a mandatory gate check fee.
This isn't a random rule. The system is designed to enforce compliance automatically. A traveler might slide their bag into the sizing station just to make sure it fits, only to be told at boarding that the bag was flagged and a fee is due. The moment seems harmless, but the scanner doesn't know your intention. It only knows the measurements. For soft-sided or flexible bags, even slight bulges can push the reading past the allowed limit, turning a precaution into an unexpected cost. Awareness is everything. Keeping your bag behind you rather than placing it in the sizer voluntarily reduces the chance of a recorded measurement. Choosing compressible, soft-sided luggage also helps it visually appear smaller, making it less likely to trigger the system. And if a gate agent insists you test your bag, politely ask if it's necessary. Never assume it's optional or harmless. Airlines in 2026 rely on passengers' natural instinct to double-check before boarding, knowing that most travelers don't realize the scanner automatically records the size. This quiet, automated system ensures revenue without confrontation, and it catches plenty of people off guard. If you're finding this helpful and want to avoid every 2026 travel trap before they hit you, make sure you subscribe right now. I break these down in real time as airlines update their policies. Number 3, dynamic connection reassignment algorithm. Picture this. You've just sprinted across an airport, barely making it to your connecting gate, only to discover your assigned seat has vanished. In 2026, airlines have refined what used to be called predictive cancellation into a system now known as dynamic connection reassignment. It's designed to maximize efficiency and reduce empty seats, but for passengers with tight connections, it can feel like a trap.
Airline software constantly monitors the likelihood of passengers making their connections based on real-time delays, airport congestion, and historical data. If your incoming flight's on-time confidence score drops below a certain threshold, the system can automatically reassign your seat to another traveler on standby, even if you could still make the connection without any problem. The risk is greatest for short connections. Travelers with only 50 to 70 minutes between flights are most likely to see seats disappear because the system assumes they might miss the next leg. When you land, your boarding pass may show a new seat assignment, or worse, indicate that your seat has been given away entirely. This can leave you rebooking at the gate, paying fees, or scrambling to find another flight. The safest approach in 2026 is to build in extra buffer time between flights. Longer connections reduce the chance that algorithms will reassign your seat prematurely. Also, monitor flight status closely, and if there's a delay, call the airline immediately to protect your seat. When you arrive at the gate, always double-check your boarding pass before approaching the aircraft. If your seat has been removed, passengers are legally entitled to compensation for involuntary denial of boarding. Knowing the right phrase can save you both time and money. And the next psychological trick is even sneakier. It keeps travelers stuck at the gate for hours, all while feeling like there's no solution. Number 2, compounding delay mirage. Imagine you're already tired, sitting at the gate, watching the clock tick, and the airline keeps updating your flight's delay. First 14 minutes, then 17, then 13, then another 15. By the time you board, you've spent hours waiting, stressed, and hungry. In 2026, airlines have refined what used to be called rolling delays into a method now known as the compounding delay system. Instead of rounding delays to 30-minute increments, airlines now update them in 12 to 18-minute steps.
The idea is subtle but powerful. Small, repeated delay announcements create the illusion that progress is being made. Travelers feel less panic and are less likely to ask for refunds, compensation, or meal vouchers. For seniors or anyone who follows airline announcements closely, it can feel especially disorienting. You end up waiting patiently while your actual flight could be far behind schedule, all because the updates make the wait seem shorter than it really is. The key to avoiding this trap is awareness. Using flight tracking apps in 2026 gives you real-time data about where the plane actually is. If your aircraft hasn't left its origin city, a 14-minute delay on the screen is meaningless. Knowing the difference between official announcements and real-time movement helps you plan, stay calm, and take action if needed. If the total wait exceeds 2 hours, politely requesting meal vouchers or other assistance at the gate can work, but only if you ask early, before the airline assumes you're content to wait. This small psychological trick is low-tech but effective, quietly keeping travelers trapped and unaware of their true options. Rehook. And now, the most dangerous trap every senior traveler absolutely needs to know. It's the one that can cost thousands if you follow outdated advice. Number 1, the 2 hours early myth. For decades, travelers have been told to arrive at the airport 2 hours before a domestic flight. It seems reasonable, but for Christmas 2025, that advice is more dangerous than ever, especially for seniors. Airports have quietly upgraded security with biometric checkpoints, faster scanning technology, and expanded screening for passengers needing extra assistance. These changes mean the old 2-hour rule often isn't enough during the busiest travel period of the year. Last Christmas, nearly 27% of travelers over 60 who followed the 2-hour recommendation missed their flights. The delays weren't caused by traffic or weather, they were caused by the longer lines at TSA and biometric checkpoints. Seniors are particularly affected because new screening criteria flag extra checks for medications, mobility issues, or age-related movement patterns. What used to be a simple walk-through security now often takes much longer, leaving many travelers scrambling to make their flights.
The strategy is simple but critical. During peak holiday periods, plan to arrive much earlier, at least 3.5 hours before a domestic flight and 4.5 hours before an international flight. Programs like TSA PreCheck or Clear Plus Senior can help speed the process, but they don't eliminate the need for extra time. Calling your airport ahead to confirm checkpoint opening times ensures you aren't waiting in front of closed security lines. Traveling on lower volume days or holiday mornings can also help. Lines are often 40 to 60% shorter than mid-afternoon or evening departures. Following this strategy alone has saved countless senior travelers thousands of dollars in missed flights, rebooking fees, and overnight hotel costs. Ignoring it during Christmas 2025 is no longer just inconvenient, it's a serious financial risk.
And if you want to keep airlines from taking advantage of you in 2026, you need to see what they're doing after you sit down. Click any of these videos on your screen, and I'll see you in a moment.